YouTube, it has been a minute, man. I just haven't felt like making any content, any videos. Normally, I get on the game and I'll feel like saying something, but um, I just haven't felt like it in a while, I'm gonna be honest. And then lo and behold, I get on the big YouTube and I see some drama going on, man. I see some drama. I seen it yesterday, and I'm gonna be real. I thought it would disappear because I thought it was pretty obvious, right? It's in regards to the Kingsman situation, and the Kingsman situation in terms of like him versus Mike, right, in their friendship and how these guys are engaging with each other. I want to preference this by saying that I'm not I'm not gonna be one of those people that are gonna be completely unemotional during this, right? I think I can say that. Um, I'm going to get angry and I'm going to be a little hot because this situation irks me, bro. It irritates me because one, it's so I missed it. It's so close to my age bracket. I'm 18, Mike is 17, right? And if y'all don't know, Mike's or let me say their full YouTubes because I don't feel like y'all know who Mike is. Mike So Above You is the I didn't think my teammate would go, and I absolutely messed that up. That's me. I didn't think he'd go there. Um, Mike So Above You is the rank one torch. I'm pretty sure in NA. I want to say in NA, but I'm not too positive on that. I'll have to fact check. But as far as I know, he's the rank one torch in NA, right? And my teammate should have. And Mike So Above You played not Rock League, Marvel Rivals with Kingsman the other day, right? Kingsman was playing Magic because of my teammate. I literally had to give that up, even though I could have had that. He was playing Marvel Rivals with Kingsman, the apparent rank one, just everything, you know? Kingsman's claim is that he's the rank one Namor, he's the rank one Magic, he's the rank one everything, right? He prides himself in being the ultimate flex player and not being a one trick. But anybody who watches this dude knows that Kingsman primarily plays Magic. Whenever you watch him play ranked, every single time he gives you tips, he's giving you Magic centric tips, right? They are all about Magic, they're for Magic, and things of that nature. If it was just a little faster. I don't think my teammate jumped. I wouldn't have either. But they just dropped that shit. Oh, I can't be cussing. But, right? So, Kingsman got into a situation a little over 2 weeks ago where he ended up getting kicked from a $40,000 tournament because his teammates refused to swap, and he was, I'm just going to call it like it was, whining, right? I'm going to stick with my original statement that I believe Kingsman was wrong for initially whining, and then as he progressed, or as the situation progressed, his teammates started doing more and more things that started making him more and more in the right? I believe Kingsman ultimately was in the right for the situation, and that what happened to him shouldn't have happened to him. He shouldn't have just get straight up gotten kicked. He should have at least got a warning, right? They say zero tolerance policy, but you know, certain things were being tolerated depending on your gender. At least it felt like that. So, that's a good double. Yeah, I'm just absolutely the slowest person. I'm a slug, man. I'm an absolute slug. So it felt like certain things were being tolerated depending on your gender or depending on how big your follower count is, how many people you could pull in, right? So, I bumped him. My teammates can go for free. So, talking and playing the game is so hard, bro, especially when you're trying to win. Okay, so, right, he shouldn't have been kicked, but I believe that went to his head. Kingsman gained a little over 300,000 subscribers on YouTube alone from that one situation. I could have scored that, but I'm absolutely bad. Right? From that one situation, Kingsman gained a little over 300,000 subscribers. Right? Yeah, we're gonna get dominated. I agree. So that should just tell you the amount of growth that he had right there. And to be fair, I believed it was unwarranted. I didn't think that he needed to gain that many subscribers given the situation, but it happened, and that's fine, right? Um, So he ended up benefiting way more than he would have. Somebody literally came into his chat and donated him 3K, which is the total prize money that he would have gotten if he won. Once again, don't think that was necessary. I truly don't believe Kingsman was winning that tournament. Like, if y'all watched it, you would have seen that Team Captain's team was blowing everybody by. So, and I do think that if they had played, Kingsman would have ended up being the villain, I guess, if you want to say, because I still stick by my regular opinion that he was whining and that you are not allowed to force people off of their comfort picks. Even when you get annoying teammates in ranked, it is not, you can only control yourself. That is one thing I've been taught my entire life, is that you can only control you can control nobody else, so control yourself to the best of your ability, right? And so Kingsman should have just controlled himself. He should have just played his game, right? He's gotten plenty of times in competitive where his teammates have been throwing, and guess what? I bet you he's won those games, right? Because he did what? He controlled himself. He played to his best. He played to the best of his ability. He played to his limit, and he ended up benefiting from that. I'm stopping that. I don't know if my teammate is. Yeah, my teammate's not stopping that. That's fine. So, anyways, I want to move past Kingsman here, and I want to talk a little bit about Mike. Mike, from what I know, I said it a little bit before. Mike is a 17-year-old kid, dropped out of high school in order to pursue streaming. I don't agree with that, but you know, content creation is there. He started in January, around, I want to say January 25th, if I have my dates correctly. And he already has, yo, I'm so bad. He already has a little over 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. I don't know the current number with how much hate he's been getting from Kingsman and his rabid fans, but it doesn't really matter, right? He garnered over 20,000 subscribers in just that time alone. He's really good at the game, right? He makes Torch look meta every season. Oh wow, what a pop. That's not in, but still, if that was, I wouldn't have been mad. I would have been like, that's beautiful. Right? So he's extremely good at the game. What else am I trying to think of here? And from what I've seen, he's literally just your average 17-year-old high school kid, right? Like, he jokes like a 17-year-old high school kid. He talks like a 17-year-old high school kid. I easily had that. I don't know why I trolled there. And things of that nature. Now, I want to preference this by saying that Kingsman is 19 years old. From what I know, Kingsman is a 19-year-old college kid, right? So I don't want to say anything with that. I don't want to, you know, say certain things because you can have friends regardless of your age, right? That sounds bad, but you know, I've had plenty of friends. He's literally just been demo chasing me. I've just heard him behind me the entire time there, and I literally could not tell you why. What is my teammate doing? That was literally a free open netter. Thank you. Sent him. He touches. He doesn't. He does. What a beat there. I tried to pop that over. I definitely should have... No, that's my bad. I definitely should have just straight up attacked that. What was I saying? Okay. Enough talking. I want to just get to the situation, right? Kingsman claimed that Mike and him were good friends. Actually, no. Let me go over the actual situation. Obviously not in great detail, but in enough detail so that way you have enough information to form a objective opinion, right? There's this thing in life that we like to call a confirmation bias, and it's when you make decisions based off of information that you garner completely off of information that supports your already come to conclusion. So for example, if I was a Christian and I went to say, well, Jesus exists, right? God exists. I would look for sources. I would look for information that supports this. I wouldn't look for information that goes against this belief. Why? Because I have a confirmation bias. Nice shot. So, or if I believe the sky or the earth was flat, for example, you know, flat earthers, they purposely look for information that supports their belief already because they don't want to be challenged, right? And essentially, what a lot of Kingsman fans do is they have another bias where it's called a self-serving bias. And it is essentially they do things, or not self-serving, it's called in-group bias. where they only believe the opinions of people within their social circles or groups, right? It is the most dangerous type of bias to have, because it essentially relies on something we like to call the herd mentality. And as the name suggests, it comes from the idea of listening and following information based on the guise of a herd. I'm bad. I'm actually trash. Like, I don't know what I'm doing right now, bro. That was literally a free save. So let me get rid of all the let me stop talking about biases, right? So Kingsman made a claim. Or not a claim. Kingsman was essentially talking down on Mike throughout the stream. Anybody with a brain can see that. Anybody with a save, please. Anybody with a clear brain can see that Mike was being talked down on, right? He was being belittled. He was being discussed poorly. Kingsman was literally making fun of him for dropping out of high school. A 17-year-old kid is being made fun of an 18-year-old who apparently is all about not hating, by the way. This is the same dude who is... I want to say this. You can't build an image, and then when that image is not supported by your actions, get mad when people call you out for that. Kingsman was already known for being toxic, apparently from Mike's point of view. Mike said that he had played with him together in the past, and he stopped playing with him because he didn't like the way... My teammate's behind me, isn't he? He is. That's me. I passed it mid thinking my teammate was there. He was behind me. I did not think he was behind me there. That is actually crazy from me. But yeah. So which this is proven by Mike's videos. Mike literally made a video playing with the rank 1 Magic, pick and roll, right? Oh, I wanted to back up there. I didn't want to play that. He made a video playing with the rank 1 Magic pick and roll. Kingsman has been the rank 1 Magic before. Apparently. I don't keep up with all the rank 1 stuff. And of course, I just passed the ball right to him. Yo, a little bit more towards the goal next time, my friend. Kingsman made a video essentially saying, hey, right? He's lying. He does nothing there. That's actually ridiculous. That's a good play from him. Literally not doing nothing sometimes is the best play. I think he won gold. He did. Oh my days. So, yeah. Right? Kingsman makes a video basically saying, hey Mike, everything that you said in your video was a lie. Not true. Mike ended up showing us the screenshots. Mike ended up showing us the chat messages, proving that these guys are not good friends. Is my teammate... What is going on? Right? They literally talk every 2 months. That's just it. That is sad. That is absolutely sad. Losing like that is crazy. GG. Need boost. GG. No problem, bro. We don't really care. What am I trying to think of here? Or what am I trying to say? Okay, so yeah, they talk every 2 months. I think one chat was from 10/2, right? October 2nd. Another chat was from December 5th. They didn't even wish each other New Year, Happy New Year's, or Merry Christmas. Not people that have been talking for months, right? Even if you want to say, oh, well, they've obviously queued together for months. They both play on PC. They'd be in Discord. Primarily they'd be in a Discord call to set stuff up, right? Even if you don't believe that and say, well, maybe they just in-game friends, right? Because you can whisper people, you can message people on Marvel Rivals, and I'd be like, you know what? Fair. Mike then proceeds to show us that he's played around 10 games or less duoed with Kingsman in the last couple months. So they obviously haven't played hundreds of games together, which Kingsman also claimed that they have played hundreds of games together, because guess what? They've been knowing each other for months, right? So that's obviously just not true. They have not known each other for months. They were not friends. At best, they were acquaintances, right? People that can talk to each other in passing. It sounded more like they were coworkers, right? People that you talk to at your job and only at your job. which I wouldn't be too surprised by. I've seen a lot of stupid stuff being said in the comments, and that's the reason why I want to talk about this, but I first want to give my opinion, right? So, Mike then made another video where he, once again, or not once again, actually yes, once again, he showed proof of their toxicity of Kingsman in their friendship and his experience with Kingsman. I want to preface this by saying, again, Mike has said before, he dueled with Kingsman in the past, he doesn't like working with him, this dude thinks he's a coach. I want to let y'all know that. Kingsman thinks he's a coach. If you've ever had a friend who, when you play with them, just constantly tells you what you can do better, it's not fun. Even when I play with my low-ranked friends in this game, I don't constantly tell them, hey, what you can do better. I ask them, I'm like, yo, bro, if you want to improve, this is what you can do, right? I'm not the best player, though, so I don't give stupid advice. I don't be like, oh, yeah, man, in order to get like me, because I'm not good at this game, but I'm higher than them. So what I tell them is like, yo, primarily work on positioning, shooting, right? These things. You should be able to, in Plat, shoot the ball on target. Or not in Plat, not shoot the ball on target. You should be able to hit the ball with power whenever you want, right? That's something that you got to work to. There's still times whenever I go to touch the ball with power. It's the weakest touch I think I've ever gotten in the game. Every single time, I think there's no way I've gotten a weaker touch than that. And then guess what? Next week, no, not even next week. The literal next game, I'm getting a weaker touch, right? So that just proves that nobody in this game is the best. Even amongst SSLs, right? I want to use this game for instance. Even amongst SSLs, there is a limit to there are levels. I don't know if y'all watched that video, but somebody made a video on the literal the gaps between SSL, and it is like night and day, bro. You right now are closer to being as good as the bottom tier SSL. I don't care what rank you are. Then a bottom tier SSL is as close to being as good as the top rated SSL. I want to let y'all know that there are literal ranked tiers amongst SSL. If they added another rank, there would be a bunch of SSLs that would not touch it again. They would not touch the peak rank again, right? Think of the peak between those, and then think about another 2 ranks between the top SSLs. Some of the top SSLs are pros, so I'll give you that. But think about that, and then think of the pros, right? Think about the pro scene. The pros are so much better. The pros are so much better than regular players. It is actually insane. And so I made up a new term for myself. I don't know if anybody else has made up this term. I call it being casually competitive and being pro-competitive. It doesn't matter how high you get in this game. If you are not a pro player, you are forever going to be casual competitive. It doesn't matter how much you sweat. It doesn't matter how many hours you play the game for. If you are not playing the game at a professional level, you will forever be I want to preference, no, not preference. I want to say that again. Repeat it for those in the back that don't have ears, like the people in Mike's comment section after he dropped the video, bro. Because it's ridiculous, right? It doesn't matter how good you get at the game. Actually, it does, because if you're pretty good, you'll probably be a pro, right? It doesn't matter what rank you climb to. It doesn't matter how many hours you play the game. If you are not a pro player, you will forever be a casual competitive player. And the reason for that is because the pro play of any game, the pro competitive scene, is always going to be different from the ranked competitive scene, right? Kingsman is an amazing Magic player. He is an amazing player in general, even at his other characters, right, that he claims that he plays at he doesn't, by the way. He doesn't play every character at a rank 1 level. Otherwise he'd be the rank 1 on those characters. I don't know, like, why people are dumb. They'd be like, oh, that's just because he doesn't have a lot of plates. No, then, dog, he doesn't play those characters at a rank 1 level. Otherwise he'd be the rank 1 at those characters. A lot of people misquote the quote, jack of all trades but master of none. There's another part to that quote, and it finishes like this. Jack of all trades, but master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. You should strive in everything you do in life to be a little bit good at something. Even if you're not the best at it, you shouldn't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So let's say or not, I don't say strive for it. That's a bad example. Let's say I'm an engineer, right? And I main in mechanical engineering, but I dabble in general, right? In overall general engineering, I can do it. If you need somebody as an electric engineer at the basic level, I can do it. Aerospace, I might be able to do it. I can't really say that, right? It's a really bad example, but you get what I'm saying, right? Oftentimes, somebody who understands a bunch of things is better than one person who only knows how to do one thing. But that's only when your teammates are are people that also only understand one thing. Bro, when you are at the highest tier in the game, when you are at the highest rank in the game, when you are at a level where everybody has an innate understanding of another character and how to play against them, a jack of all trades is only as good as his team. Let me say that again. When you are at a level where everybody on your team is dialed in, everybody on your team is playing at a high level, oftentimes a jack of all trades is a useless commodity. It might as well be a trophy. Because when you are a jack of all trades, that saying only works if we're talking about real life. But when you play games, there's something I want to introduce to y'all called counter swapping. And another thing I want to introduce to y'all called adaptive play. I understand I'm not on Marvel Rivals, so I don't have the best visual for this. But I'm a 33 hour Hulk player, right? I think it's actually 34. I don't know. That might be Cloak and Dagger, right? But these are two good examples. Season 0 to season 1. Season 1.5, excuse me. I was primarily a support player. All I played was support. I didn't dabble in... I want to let that know. I literally didn't dabble in anything else. I played nothing else in ranked. I was a support heal bot. That's what I did, right? I played with a group of friends. In support, that got me all the way to Celestial 2, back when everybody was being boosted, right? Then, Season 2, I stopped playing with the same couple dudes for reasons. And I started playing Hulk a lot. I enjoyed Hulk. I quickly realized, especially with the coming out of Emma Frost, the same season, by the way, that I decided to pick up Hulk, Emma Frost dropped. That should let you know everything there is to know about me in adaptive play. But Emma Frost dropped. Her stun, broken. The damage she did, broken. Hulk, useless. Playing Hulk into Emma Frost felt like purposely asking somebody to S-word you. S-A-U, actually. It didn't even feel like harassment. It felt like I was genuinely asking this person to tie me up, put me in a hog tie, and do me bad, right? Every single time. However, what you learn with Hulk is, especially that you learn with every tank eventually, is that your job is only... Let me say this again. Your job is only to create... I just realized I got off topic talking about something else. I mean, I'm still on topic, but I'm a little off topic. Let me wrap this up, right? So essentially, when you play one character for a very long time, you learn what he's effective against and what he's not effective against. You learn exactly how she plays against this person and how exactly she plays against this person. You learn the best counters to this person and you learn the worst counters to this person. In other words, you quickly learn who's a threat to you and who is not a threat to you, as long as y'all are of the same skill level. Once again, this is only advice. This only applies under two conditions. One, you are of the same skill level, and two, hold up. You are of the same skill level, and two, this person in a 1v1 situation, right? So for example, Spider-Man does not play well against Namor in a 1v1 situation. However, a good Spider-Man, if the Spider-Man is better than the Namor, Spider-Man will always win that 1v1. Now, let's say the Namor is as good as the Spider-Man. Well, then you come to a stalemate, right? The Spider-Man won't push up because of the Namor, and the Namor won't push up because of the Spider-Man. You get what you call a stalemate, exactly as it sounds. Magneto and Iron Man ult is treated the exact same way. Magneto, or even Cloak and Dagger ult. Magneto knows that he must save his ult for the Iron Man. And the Iron Man knows that he can't ult unless the Magneto is dead or wastes his ult. They are now in an ult stalemate. They are no longer pieces on the field. I mean, they are, but they can't be used. Their ults can only, or they can be used. I'll tell you how in a bit. But as far as they can't just use them willy-nilly, right? Both of them can't just say, I want to use my ult for this. However, a good counter to Magneto ult is more than one dangerous ult. The best way to do this is, let's say you have an Iron Man, you have a Cloak and Dagger, and you have a Punisher. That's 3 characters in which now Mag has to ult. Now, one of his team can try and take the slack and be like, yo, don't ult for Cloak and Dagger, we'll just match it, right? If she ults in Cloak and Dagger, we'll copy it with Loki and we'll match it, right? Or if she ults with Cloak and Dagger, we'll wait a couple of seconds and then we'll ult Invisible Woman in order to have about the same duration, right? Because Invis duration got nerfed, right? There's a reason why they do that. It's because you realize which one is more of a threat and which one is not. Iron Man ult is easy to dodge. Anybody would tell you that. The reason why Iron Man can be used so effectively is if his team is good, right? That's the character being team reliant in a team game. That's not a bad character design, right? This is where you get the issue. People, a lot like Kingsman, want to be able to 1v6 the entire enemy team and win. If you don't believe me, please go watch Kingsman's plays. Go watch his VODs. Please. Kingsman is a smart player. He realizes if I want to beat the enemy team, their supports need to go. But he's doing this on Magic. A character who fits more into Brawl, which is fine. She can still dive. She's like Iron Fist, right? She does well in Brawl, especially fighting against other tanks, but she can still be of use in the backline. That's fine. I want to get back to the issue. Kingsman, in my opinion, is a one-trick. Kingsman only has the proficiency in Magic, and every other character is iffy. Go look at his plays when he plays whenever he plays Moon Knight. It will make you question how this dude is in this rank. I literally watched the game where he proceeded to ult, knowing the Invis had, or maybe he didn't know, maybe he just didn't care. But he was like, I can ult this, I can ult this. Proceeded to ult Moon Knight ult. Got no kills with it. Because guess what? The enemy team was prepared. They Invis ulted it, right? Another time, he wants to run Groot Moon Knight like this is season 0. Bro, that combo hasn't been viable for a minute. And I'm not one that cares about viability. If it's fun, run it, bro. If you have fun on it, run it, bro. Because guess what? You're going to play the best on a character you have fun on than a character that you don't. There are characters that are just in the meta. I'm sorry, that's the case. But if my Captain America wants to play Captain America into Emma, Scarlet Witch, Namor, Bucky, first off, I'm going to tell him that he's gotta not love himself. But then I'm going to tell him, you know what? Go ahead, bro. Because me telling him, nah, bro. Especially if he's insisting on it, especially trying to ban his character, you know what he's going to do? He's going to sell. And sometimes you just have to lose those. Sometimes you just got to lose them, or you'll get really, you know what'll happen? He'll play his comfort pick and he'll shine on it because he's comfortable, right? One-tricking is not bad. It's one-tricking and playing the same way that is bad. Not switching it up depending on who you're playing against. It doesn't matter who you play against or who you play, or not who you play against. It doesn't matter who you play. It matters who you play against, and it matters how you switch up, how you play for that person, right? There's a reason why you see a lot of Groots, even though technically Punisher should be their counter. They run it into Punisher and they still win. Okay, I'm done talking about that. Now, I want to talk about the Kingsman Mike situation and who I believe is right. I'm going to cut to the chase. Mike is objectively in the right. Right? Kingsman was on Twitch when he was playing with Mike. Invited Mike to play, to queue. Kingsman does this a lot, by the way. He invites people to queue up. You would literally go see it, bro. I'm tired of telling people this. Go see it. He literally invites people to queue. We see this in Mike's own video. He invites Mike to queue. Why is he, if he's inviting him to queue and he knows that he's the #1 torch, why would he tell him to get off a torch? And I want to address that too. A lot of people were like, well, if you didn't see, they had 5 DPS, so obviously somebody has to swap. And Kingsman swapped to tank. Kingsman didn't swap to tank until they needed one. But he's barking all these orders at Mike. Yo, Mike, switch. Yo, Mike, play this. Yo, Mike, play that. Mike is a 17-year-old kid. Peer pressure is still very strong. Peer pressure is not age relevant, by the way, but Mike seems like one of those people affected by it. That's just an observation, though. It could be an assumption. It could be a very large allegation, and Mike could not be affected by... the fact that he made that video means that Mike is not that affected by peer pressure, right? But obviously, he's playing with Kingsman. He doesn't want to lose. He's going to get on support, right? Mike also has no problem flexing. If y'all don't know, back when Torch was busted, Mike made a video where he was basically begging Guang Guang to nerf... I'm pretty sure it's called Guang... I'm pretty sure it's titled Guang Guang, please nerf Torch, right? And in that video, he says he almost has Lord on Cloak and Dagger just because he hasn't been playing Torch. And he'd only been streaming for 9 hours. That is egregious, right? That's literally stat farming statistics right there. Okay. So we know that Mike has no issue flexing, right? This dude, Kingsman, then begins to berate him, knowing that he's not playing his character that he normally plays. Mike makes a valid point as well. They only had one tank player, and he played tank the entire game. It didn't matter what the situation, he was on tank. I'm pretty sure. Because, when you're playing, a lot of higher level players have that streamer mode on, so that way you can't recognize their name, so that way you can't, target ban them. But I don't know why people do that. If you're getting target banned, just learn a new character, bro. Right? You can be a one-trick, but at least be a one-trick with another character. Or that defeats the purpose of one-tricking. But I don't want to talk about that anymore. I don't care if I didn't define it properly, bro. Just discover the meaning for yourself, right? Discover what I mean for yourself. I don't really care. Okay, so boom. Right? Mike is like, yo, I don't play this character. Mike leaves the game. Or I don't want to say leaves the game. Actually, yeah, I'm going to say that. I'm just going to jump. Right, because it's the situation. The game itself is not important. It's the talks during the conversation. So after Kingsman, I know I'm jumping, but Kingsman berated Mike this entire match. Right, he's making fun of him for being a high school dropout. A lot of people are like, "Yo, that's just banter with friends." Okay, bro. Tone of voice is everything, right? And Kingsman made statements and didn't chuckle once. This is the issue I have with this generation. People make jokes or they make quote unquote jokes and then hide it behind, oh, but I was joking. And then they say something terrible. It's like with the Invisreal or whatever that thing is that people are doing. Dog. How is that funny? I don't care what side you're on, Gaza or Israel. What you gotta realize is people are literally dying. And you're making a joke about people losing their lives. Even if you're like, yo, it's not that serious. Like, bro, I just don't make jokes like that. I'm sorry. I tend not to make jokes like that. Okay. Jumping from there, right? So Kingsman is honestly fully berating Mike to his chat, right? He says that, by the way, before this game started, Mike was like asking, yo, like how it, like he was asking Kingsman like how their day is, because Kingsman's like gone, right? Kingsman comes back and is like, yo, are you plugging yourself to my chat right now? Dog, I swear if you're plugging yourself to my chat right now, I'll leave right now. First off, that's weird considering the fact that you're playing together. They can literally see his Twitch. When you went onto his stream to go invite him, they seen his Twitch. So you promote him your own self. So that's weird. Second off, you guys are playing together. You guys are supposed friends for months. And you don't want to promo your friend that you've been friends for months with after you got all this clout? Right? Weird to me. Then after Mike leaves, right, he's essentially like, yeah, I just can't queue with somebody like that. Rightfully so. Kingsman, after the match, right, Kingsman proceeds to waste about 2 minutes, or I want to say 5, 2 to 5 minutes. Honestly, I couldn't really tell because both of them were chopping up their video. I really wish I cared enough to go watch the VOD, but I'm gonna be real, I'm just like y'all. I only do my research through both POVs, and I determine who's right by the situation, and if I was in that situation, what I would do, right? It's bad on both parties. I at least did the due diligence to go through Mike's videos and look for Kingsman games that he played with him. I didn't find one before the situation, so I don't think that's why I didn't think they were good friends. I was like, yo, he talks about the Rank 1 Magic. Kingsman doesn't come up once. He's played a bunch of games with pick and roll though. So if y'all were really good friends, he would have been invited you, bro. Especially because y'all are around the same subscriber count, right? Okay. So boom. Kingsman does that, and he's essentially getting on Mike for missing his ult. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mike could see that he missed his ult, Kingsman. I'm pretty sure he could see that, you know. Considering the fact that he was the person who used it, I'm pretty sure he could see that he missed his ult, right? Then, on top of that, you told him to get on a character that he literally has no time on. And he did that because you asked him to. And I believe Mike was just trying to be a quote-unquote good 5-month friend, according to Kingsman. Also, if Kingsman was friends with him for 5 months, he would have known that he barely played the thing. He had 41 minutes on the thing, y'all. 41 minutes. I've been recording about as long as his amount of time on the thing. Okay. So, all that happens, right? Boom. Kingsman then proceeds to say, oh yes, after Mike left, right? And he tries to make it sound like he was answering a chatter after he said, oh yes. One, chat isn't that, it doesn't matter how high of a streamer you get. If you literally say something in 1 second, nobody is instantly typing in the next second, did you just say, oh yes, to Mike leaving? So he then proceeds to say, did you just say, oh yes, to Mike leaving, like he's reading a chatter? He's like, no, I didn't. Right? He's not reading a chatter, bro. He just peeped that he said, oh yes, and he's trying to cover it up. Weird behavior to me. This is a 19-year-old college student, by the way. Everybody's calling him a child, but this is how he treats actual children. A 17-year-old that dropped out of high school for reasons, right? Once again, I don't agree with that. As an 18-year-old that is about to finish high school, I do think he should have just went ahead and finished, especially if he was just going to get his GED anyway. But he said he wanted to focus on streaming, and I was cool with that. I was like, you know what? If you're going to get your GED anyway, that's cool, bro. Right? As long as you somehow get that high school diploma. Right? Okay, so boom. Moving on. Kingsman made his response video. Right? He made his response video today. Dropped it, or not today. He dropped it yesterday. Right? I want to let y'all know, I watched it, trying to be as objective as possible. The literal first Not even half. The first 2/3 of the video is pick and rolls talk about the situation that happened with Zaza over 2 weeks ago. And you want to know the thing is, he literally said, I didn't want to show this because, yeah. But this is the dog, you got mad because Quad, you know the guy on YouTube, I mean not YouTube, on TikTok that got really popular for playing Adam and for making like streamer on Marvel Rival, he made like statistic sheets on like how good of a player they are or whatever, right? And he made a mock presentation, or not a mock presentation, but basically like a mock series, best of 3, where Kingsman, it was Kingsman versus pick and roll in terms of who's the rank 1 Magic. Bro, he got mad because it went to a game 4. First off, you're talking about Quad started making content after you blew up. No duh. No duh. I hate, no, I don't hate. I heavily dislike people who act ignorant just to act ignorant. You have all these fans being like, man, y'all didn't care about Kingsman before he blew up. You didn't watch him before he blew up, nigga. You wasn't there back when he had 36 subscribers. You weren't there back when his Discord only had 1,000 members. You only came after the drama like I did. Like, why are you trying to act like a day 1? You're day 365, bro. Not even. You're his 3,560 subscriber, bro. Like, what are we doing? You're nowhere near number 1. You only showed up because bro got a video made by the Atlanta Hawks. Before then, you didn't even know the dude. You had a bunch of people subscribing to him that didn't even play. Bro, the Discord server when this stuff was popping off was corny. There was a grown-ass man whose main job was waiting, who got $100 in tips that he wanted to give to Kingsman because of the situation. Buddy, go invest your money. You're 47. It's a grown man in his server giving money to a 19-year-old, not a bad cause, for college, not a bad cause, is what I'd like to say, but it wasn't for college. It's because the nigga was petty because of the situation that happened with the quote-unquote 3 e-girls. That's another thing I want to address. Kingsman's fans are weird. They are weirdos. They are almost as weird as he is. I agreed. I don't care what you say. I agreed with CC in terms that Kingsman struggles with social interactions. Because there's certain things that he does that just makes no sense. Right? Given from a societal POV. For example, Kingsman was playing with Tara, right? Tara Navi, whatever you want to call him, who is the rank 1 DPS. A pro player. Right? He wants Kingsman. Every single time I see one of this dude's videos, you know what he always says? Guys, we just have to commit to Brawl. You know who benefits the most from committing to Brawl? Kingsman, who's on Magic. Every single time I see this dude, it's him playing his comfort pick and then getting mad or blaming his teammates who aren't performing as well on characters that they don't play. Almost every single time. To be fair, that could be cherry-picked information. That could be confirmation bias from me. And that's why I don't want to use that as information, right? I just want to say that Kingsman was playing with these guys, right? Kingsman was playing with these guys. He was playing with Flats and a couple other players in the, I want to say it was the Boger Bash, but it could also have been the J3 tournament. I don't really remember, right? And he got in controversy for that because he was literally doing the same thing again to a bunch of players that weren't his last teammates. Last time it was low key. It was like, yeah, man, like I can't blame you on that one. You have a Diamond 1 Widow who basically has 200 ping, and CC wants to play around her. Yeah, man, that's fair. Your critique is fair, right? Bro, they're playing for $30,000. Basically the same amount of money, right? 40K, 30K, that's $10,000 difference, but who cares, right? Both in the same ball range of that's a lot of money, right? You can fill in the blanks. That's a lot of money, right? Kingsman proceeds to want to run Groot Moon Knight, and I quote, they just fall over and die, we win. We build up our combo, we win. Like it's an insta-kill button. Not only do they never get off the combo, not only do they never hit, I mean get off as in the combo actually works, right? Not only does the combo not work, the combo gets them killed. It doesn't exactly get them killed, but what ends up happening is that Kingsman gets his ult a lot of times on Moon Knight and then proceeds to just say, F it, I'm about to full send that, and ults. Doesn't wait. He's playing with Boger here, so maybe it was the Boger bash. Maybe not, actually, because it was team flats. I don't know. I know Boger was playing, though. I know Boger was playing on that team. Right. Maybe it was J3, because I'm pretty sure the tournament hosts can't play in their own tournament, though. Okay. So, what am I trying to say here? Right? What is the entire thing? Because it definitely sounds like I'm just hating on Kingsman. And I am. I'll say that outright. Right? I don't really care. Because this isn't a video. This is a live stream. Nobody's going to watch this. Nobody's going to see this. And if they do see this, who cares? Right? Kingsman to me is the type of teammates that he complains about all the time. To sum it up, he is a crybaby. He whines, he complains, he bitches, he moans, and then because he's the supposed rank 1 on everything, because he's the ultimate flex player, he is somehow absolved of everything that he does. That's not how the world works. Just because you're right one time doesn't mean you're right all the time. And that's what gets me mad about Kingsman. A lot of his fans think that he's right all the time because he was right one time. I bet you, I'm still in their Discord. I bet you if I go into the Discord and I look, right, and I look for even a second, they are shitting on this nigga Mike. I bet you they are shitting on this nigga Mike. You literally have people in his comments talking about some, at first I thought it was genuine, now it's just drama bait. So he provides proof. He gives you all the proof. He showed the Discord screenshots, timestamp and all. The only thing Kingsman showed was the fact that it said yesterday. That could have been a fucking message from who knows how long ago. So one, that wasn't even good proof. I finished the entire video. And it still pissed me off because I was like, you provided no proof, bro. I watched this 26-minute long video of no proof, of just you being mad at Pick and Roll because Pick and Roll called it like it was. He agreed with you, but he said, and I quote, this is a content, or not quote, I loosely quote, he basically said that this is a content-focused tournament, prize money, or competitive is second. And even if you want to say, well, 40K is a lot of money, 40K is there to incentivize people play at a highly competitive level. That was it. However, why else would they get a bunch of content creators other than if it wasn't a content-focused tournament? I agreed that they shouldn't have got the 40K if they just wanted to be straight-up content-focused. I agreed that when you add money into anything, it is now competitive, right? However, Pick and Roll said it beautifully. Competitive second, content first. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gotten so many content creators. It wouldn't have been a content creator tournament. It would have just been a pro tournament if they cared about just the competitive nature of it. I thought that was obvious though. So I didn't really. That's why I said he said it beautifully, because it was still dumb, but he said it beautifully, man. He said it in the way that anybody could get, except for Kingsman and his chat apparently, because I genuinely think his chat is made up of fucking idiots, bro. Like these guys literally remind me of Corey Kenshin fans. And I'm a Corey Kenshin fan, bro. I love Corey. But this is ridiculous, bro. Can we stop worshiping content creators like they're gods, like they can't make any mistake, like they have to not provide any evidence to back themselves up on a claim? Can we stop dick munching? It's annoying. It's so annoying. Bro, when Boger was content farming, when Boger was queuing up with you in order to content farm you, Kingsman, you said nothing. Nothing. Not a fucking peep. Nothing came out of your mouth. It wasn't until, quote unquote, Mike is doing it, which he's not doing, that you actually give a fuck. It's weird. You have all these other people content farming off of you. You don't have to say anything because all these other people are saying it for you. Boosting your interactions, boosting your engagement, right? All nice and dandy for you. But the moment somebody comes out and says anything negative about you, oh, they're drama baiting. You did the same shit to Lucky Zeal where you tried to force Lucky Zeal off of his character because you wanted to play your character, even though Lucky Zeal was carrying the team. Weird fucking behavior again. You just don't stop with it. It's so hypocritical. You won't get off of Magic unless it's absolutely necessary, but then you fiend to get on her. You're a goblin, bro. You're a literal goblin. In the match that you played against Mike, you never swapped. People are like, oh, he swapped to go play tank for a fucking second, and then he hopped basically back on Magic immediately. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll go watch that video again, so don't quote me on that. It's weird, though, bro. It's weird. Please stop. And then when you do swap, you don't do anything, bro. You just die. But nah, I'm the ultimate flex. I understand every character in the game perfectly. You're one above all. You've been one above all. You're good at the game. I won't deny you on that. But bro, you are not the hottest shit since lava, bro. You are not the hottest shit since people developed AI. Shit, I'll go as far to say you're not the hottest shit since motherfuckers developed or understood that women are hot. Please fix yourself, bro. Being in the same major as you is so annoying because you literally fit the bill. You literally fit the bill. You're a nigga who doesn't understand his social standing. You're a nigga who doesn't understand how to interact with people. And so every interaction with you is just you talking shit on somebody and then somebody trying to joke with you and then you taking it way too far. At least from the interactions I've seen with Mike's. Actually, let me take that back. That's a lie. You're not like that. I don't know you personally. You could be the fucking most upstandest guy ever, but whenever I see you on stream, that's literally you. You're apparently not toxic. You apparently don't send hate. You are the most toxic person I have seen on this game on Marvel Rivals yet. I don't even think CC and them were as toxic to you as you are to other people that are apparently your friends. If it's true that CC and them were doing this on or I didn't really care that much about it. I didn't really look that too far into that whole situation. I kind of stopped after it got corny, I'm gonna be real. I just supported the overall agenda. I was like, yo, free my nigga Kingsman. He didn't deserve to get banned. He was definitely being pushy as a bitch, though. Like, I'll be the first one to say it, bro. You not a nigga, bro. When people are like, CC's being racist, she doesn't like black people, bro. There's no way Kingsman is a nigga, bro. And it's not even because, oh, he doesn't do regular black people things. He doesn't do the rare. He doesn't chimp out. La 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 la. It's because Kingsman doesn't have a spine. Bro, your aunties and your uncles ain't never made fun of you, bro. I can tell you that much. Your aunties and your uncles ain't never... Either that or they made fun of you so badly, now that you get a little bit of clout, now that you get a little bit of power, authority over people, you start flexing that bitch like it's a badge. Motherfucker became a racist cop the moment he got a little bit of power. He's reaching! Immediately pull out the pistol, bro. The only thing I did was call. My hands are still on the wheel. It's weird, bro. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I said this in the beginning. I was gonna get emotional. I can't stand niggas that do this shit, bro. I literally know somebody like this in person. He makes jokes that are blatantly racist, that are blatantly not funny, and then guess what? He hides it on the presumption that it's a joke. Kingsman does the exact same thing. He talked shit about he talked shit about the 17-year-old. Bro, I don't even talk shit about 17-year-olds. I'm 18, bro. You're a year older than me. I don't even talk about 17-year-olds the way you do, bro. My friend dropped out of high school. You know what I didn't go around doing? I didn't go around making fun of that nigga, telling him he couldn't be a mechanical engineer just because of the fact that he dropped out of high school, bro. There's different routes, different paths in life. Stop being a dick. Stop being a fucking loser, bro. We live in 2026. GEDs exist. Trade school exists. Other pathways to get to where you want to get to in life exist. Life is no longer just you gotta go to a good school and make it. However, it just gives you a little bit more security. That's what a lot of people say, but that's not even true by itself. You know what school is really used for? To form connections, to form bonds. You know what? I'm done talking, bro. That's been the situation. I think Kingsman is an idiot. I think he's one of those people that are school smart and not street smart. He's one of those people that can understand shit on a technical level. That's why he's so good at Marvel Rivals, because he just understands the game at a base level. However, he believes that his understanding of the game is the correct one. That's not true. Your understanding of the game is only one understanding. There are other POVs. There are other perspectives. That's literally the exact same shit. I don't care. There are different types of ways to play the game. There are people that are literally in your rank right now, that are in One Above All, that are in Celestial, that are all this and that don't flex at all. But you know what they do? They play differently. They flex their play style, which is way more important than flexing your fucking character, bro. Stop being a little jackass. Stop being a little dickwad, bro. Learn to play the game. Genuinely. Please, learn how to play the game, bro. Because at this rate, what you're gonna turn Marvel Rivals into is fucking Counterwatch. And nobody enjoyed Counterwatch, bro. Nobody enjoyed that game. You literally want to just turn Marvel Rivals into Counterwatch. You're one of those niggas. You're one of those people that go back into spawn when you see that their tank is playing something else and you literally perfectly pick a counter for them. That's fine, bro. That's a way to play the game. But wanting your teammates to play like that too, wanting your teammates to not have fun whenever they play the game is fucking weird. Please get off the game. You are a casual competitive nigga. You are not a pro player yet. Maybe you will be. Who knows? I'm not going to talk shit about you on your perpetual prospects. You know why? Because I don't talk shit about people's prospective prospects. I talk potential prospects. Holy shit, I sound like XQC right now, bro. I'm stuttering because I'm mad. Bro, I don't talk shit about people in their potential just in general. Whether they can be this, whether they can be that. I don't tell people, no, the fuck you can't, just because of the fact that they jumped out of high school. I tell people, that's not so likely. But there are other pathways there, so I won't doubt you. Or, you can do it. Just, this and this might be harder because of this, right? I don't tell people, hey man, you ain't never gonna be shit in life because you didn't finish fucking high school. I mean, that's not what you said, but damn. Making fun of a little nigga because he dropped out. By the way, a lot of people didn't even see his video that he dropped out. You know why they didn't see it? Because he's not big. So you essentially said to basically thousands of people on stream, yeah, this dude that I play with, he's a fucking idiot. He dropped out of high school. They immediately started making fun of Mike for dropping out of high school. They literally are doing that in his chat. If you were a real friend, you wouldn't have said shit. You talking about some handle this in private? You brought it to the public. You're the one who said something on chat first. You're the one who berated him on chat first, on Twitch first, on live first, in front of thousands of people so that way they could clip it and post it. You're a lame. You're a lame ass nigga. I'm done, bro. I'm getting heated. Like, I could genuinely go for another 2 hours just talking about how lame this nigga is. Genuinely, bro. Genuinely, I could. Anyways, that's it. In terms of the situation, Mike clears. This isn't even a situation. It's not drama. It's just one weirdo and a kid both being weird. They're both weird in my opinion. But one is weirder. One is a fucking loser and the other one is just a high school dropout, bro. I think Mike is weird for dropping out of high school. That's about it. I don't think the way he handled the situation is weird. Actually, I think it's highly socially, I'm gonna say social, and when I say social, I mean in terms of social media, right? It's highly socially intelligent, right? Mike got defaced on the internet, so he brought it to the internet. You know another person who did the exact same thing? Kingsman. Kingsman got defaced on live, so he brought it to YouTube. And you could be like, well, he tried to handle it in the background, but he got kicked anyway. He was just making a video on the situation. So, rules for thee, but not for me? Mike can't make a video about the situation that happened between him and Kingsman just because Kingsman is popping right now? Bro, I'm done talking about it, bro. I get angry about shit like this, bro. I get very passionate. People tell me I should have been a fucking lawyer. I should have, bro. Because I could defend somebody with my damn life if I believe that they're right. But the moment I believe that they're not right, bro, I swear, bro. I swear. If I don't think you're... Like, they couldn't just give me cases. You hand me a case about somebody that murdered his entire family for no reason other than the fact that he just wanted a little bit of bread? You give me a case about somebody who did some fucked up shit to somebody simply because of the fact that his girl didn't like him no more? Or his girl liked him now? You did some fucked up shit to your bro because your girl liked him? He didn't even fuck with her? But because she liked him, you did some messed up shit to him? Yeah, bro, best believe. I can't defend people like that. I can't defend people who do rules for me, not for thee. Or rules for thee, not for me. Damn, I'm getting it confused. Anyways, I'm done. I'm done talking about it. I'm probably about to go play Roblox and chill out because I'm getting angry. Bye.